just nice to have another look at it today, an opportunity to see what develops out of that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just try to do my part on there and do what I can to help make the unit successful and help the guys around me. So excited to get after it and work hard at it.
Basically, that role there, I mean, it's just a matter of taking the goalie's eyes away, tipping pucks, kind of just keeping it simple.
Yeah, I mean, we got obviously great shooters on the unit, a good puck mover or multiple good puck movers, but Bergie's good at moving it and finding guys, and Mo's got a big shot from the top, and obviously Cat's a shooter, and Vladdy as well. So just try to take the goalie's eyes away, get to loose pucks, just create stuff when I can.
Just talking with the season here, what are your thoughts on where the team is at right now? What has to happen for you guys to be successful, to take that next step?
A lot. I think we need to put in a lot of hard work and day in, day out, practice hard, compete against each other, work and practice, and ultimately play as low mistake hockey as possible. We got the guys in this room to do it, and just about executing.
Only a couple of practices left before opening, and how excited you guys just to get back out there on the ice and start playing again?
Yeah, really excited. It seems like a long time since camp and everything got started, so all excited for the real deal and to get after it.
You talk about hard work too. How does that hard work from training camp carry over? How can you guys keep sustaining that throughout the season?
Yeah, I think just keep that standard. I think there was a high standard set at camp and in these first few days of just our group practicing. So we just got to carry that on and continue pushing each other.
How much the experience that, especially the younger guys who haven't been through a playoff chase last year, just having gone through those pressure situations, how much do you think that can help?
A lot. I think myself included haven't really experienced that kind of hockey, so a lot. I think for me, and I think other guys feel this way too. It's now that's something that you're kind of yearning for and wanting, because there's nothing worse than playing meaningless hockey, and we've been in those spots in years past, and last year I think was the most fun hockey that I'd probably say a lot of us have played. So just try to be in that spot again, and hopefully even a better spot.
Thanks, Rasmussen. So you're moved to the kind of left flank, and I'm curious, what do you like about playing that position? What are sort of the differences than kind of being at that sort of net front bumper kind of hybrid spot?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a little different. I enjoy it. You get into good shooting positions and have the puck in your stick, so it feels nice. I think that's the strength. We could move a lot of guys around on different positions, so yeah, it feels good.
Lucas, just your thoughts on the season coming up here. What do you like most about this team, and what do you think has to happen for you guys to take that next step?
Yeah, I like our team a lot. I think we are a better team coming into this year compared to last year. Obviously with some addition, but I think that the internal growth has been big for us, and guys taking a step. I want to take a step. I know a lot of other guys in this room want to do so as well. So it feels good. I think everyone's really excited to get out there on Thursday.
Is that for you? I mean, the way you played at the end of last season, just trying to find some of that earlier and sustain it?
You know what? I don't think I played. I didn't feel like I did anything different. At least end of last year, I think it was kind of just playing the same way and then getting a little bit of a different result. But for me, it's just I want to keep developing. I want to become a better player on and off the ice, and help the team the way I do. So. Like I said, just excited. You've been waiting all summer. Especially when last year ended, I think everyone's a little extra excited to get out there Thursday.
How much do you look at other teams and think what the competition will be like for, within the Atlantic, within the East?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you keep an eye on it. I would lie if you say you don't, but at the same time, you're kind of just focused on yourself right now. We've been through camp, and before you see any of the team play, it's tough to kind of say. But one thing I do know is that it's not going to be easier this year. Teams are getting better, and we're going to look to do the same.
With the goaltending you have, I mean, 3 guys who've all carried their respective teams at various points. I mean, how significant of a strength can that be?
Big for sure. I mean, goalies are a huge part, and we got 3 unbelievable goalies who's great on the ice, but off the ice as well. So obviously a strength with our team, and I know whoever we put in there is gonna do a good job, and all of us trust them.
There's a lot of dramatic moments, overtime games, shootouts, big moments down the stretch last year. How much do you think that can help, especially the younger guys having gone through that?
I mean, I think that's a part that I know for me has made me a better player for sure. I think just for a lot of guys who may have not been in those situations to kind of realize how tight and tough it is. I think that's huge coming into a season to that have that knowledge from the start. Obviously, you want to go out there and win every game, but just getting those games down the stretch was very valuable and extremely fun games.
Are you still work? Is that still work in progress? Or
Yes,
is that on that?
still a work in progress. We'll be fluid with it. Wanted to be through the preseason. We were. We got set back a little bit with it, with the game-changing nights. Just a small little change, but yeah, we'll still be working through. And we talked about some of those games not being sharp. I'd definitely say some of that was our power play too, not being sharp, and we're going to need it. So, still working through the power play.
Hey Derek, what was the thought process behind going with 22 rather than 23?
Just the flexibility of it. I think first year here, I think we're all accustomed to it. I was even talking with Beamer how 4, 5, 6 years ago it would have been more of a media story. It is your job to cover. And obviously, there's a couple players that look like maybe they should have been on the roster on day one, but I think it's just the reality of maximizing your roster, not only for day one, but throughout the season.
So you're not making any changes between now and
Nope,
Thursday?
this will be our roster on Thursday opening night.
Just with the power play again, Gustafsson, are you kind of still figuring out
Yep.
where he's best, which unit?
Yeah, he had some success there. Obviously, I think it's a luxury that we feel we have 2 guys that can run a top of a power play, and one's a lefty, one's a righty. I think there is something to the hands and one-timers and having sticks available, so we're still working through that.
Is the idea with Comfort, that power play group, some of the down-low retrieval kind of thing?
Download retrieval, we also think, and it showed a little bit today, Raymond being able to retrieve pucks from the flank, and we want to have a little more presence maybe on top of the goalie, which we think he can give us.
Have you decided yet who's in goal Thursday?
Nope, we'll do that tomorrow. We're going to get a routine of the day before, try to communicate the best we can. I remember last year, I think you asked the question on managing the goalies, the uniqueness of practice, but there's also the reality of games, the backups, but communicating. So I thought we did a pretty good job last year, and we'll have to do the same. So we'll make a decision on each goalie that day before.
It is going to. If all 3 are playing well and healthy, right? I mean, that is going to be a challenge.
It will be a challenge, yeah, and I mean it. We're really comfortable of playing anyone at any given time. If we were going in a 3 and 4, maybe 3 in a row, I know it sounds crazy. It doesn't happen very easily in preseason. We'd have no problem going right back to back to back. So we'll get a feel after each game on how we want to do this.
Have you talked to them, just kind of communicated?
Yeah, best we could.
This is what to expect and all
yeah,
that?
best we could. And I think it's unique. Last year's communication was a little bit different in that it played out with Alex being a little bit of a distant F3. God, we're running through my video. Already yelling at the guys about F3. About him being the number 3 goalie. So the communication will be a little bit different. It's not perfect, and even last year it wasn't the easiest conversations, but I think it worked out because we were as honest as could be.
What's the power play? Moving Alex to bring it in from the flank to the.
Just again, we're playing with some situations there. He's got a really good stick. He's got good instincts, and he showed it today. And he's a finisher. Sometimes it's a quick stick looks different. Sometimes it's retrieving a rebound and we're finding space in that area. So he's a very valuable player on the power play. Hence him being second on our team in goals scored last year. But sometimes you got to find the puck in his hand at times, and it's hard to do sometimes with where he's at and kind of where the play runs through.
When you're pre-scouting the Penguins, how much do you look at, obviously they play tomorrow night, that game versus going back at old film from last season?
A little bit of everything. That Wednesday game that they play in New York, I believe, will be really important scout for us. We're playing them, and we've played them enough where they've had some very successful tendencies, which obviously we'll work against, but there'll be a combination of everything.
You said routines. I mean, Thursday, 8 o'clock start now, and with the opening night ceremonies, it's going to take a while.
Yep.
I mean, does that mess at anything up?
No, I don't think so. Guys are anxious to play. They're excited about it. I think you get used of today's TV. I think it's pretty common. We're just talking about 1 o'clock game to open up the NHL season on the West Coast. I think guys get pretty used of now the unique game starts.
You kind of de-emphasize the letters when it comes to the leadership group.
Yep.
Have you decided on who will?
No. We're still working through that. I think we have a core of about 6 or 7. We'll have one captain. We might just go with one captain. We might rotate some A's through there. But I think this is a good problem to have. We're playing through that. I think wearing letters is important. It is real in our sports. But at the same time, I think we're in a pretty good spot there where I think you might see some different looks and wouldn't even look too much into it at all. But we're gonna have many guys in different leadership roles, whether they're wearing the A or not.
Seems like we've asked you this, unfortunately, a few times the last couple of years, but just, do you have any friend? I mean, have you talked to your friends in Tampa?
Oh,
This
yeah.
one looks really bad.
It's not so much the talking. I'm literally on 3 or 4 text exchange that they're talking about how to handle this, and it's alarming and sobering. Obviously, my wife has a ton of good friends. We were in deep 5 years in that South Tampa community. This is a little bit scary, and there's some definite anxiousness there.
When you did you live through a storm? Or
Yeah,
something
a couple
like
of storms.
that?
You
How
get
was
used of it. It's you take it in stride. We laugh all the time. You move to Tampa. My dad lives in northern New York. I wouldn't call it a sheltered upbringing, but he reads the news, and he thinks we're in the middle of a Category 5, and I literally sent a picture of a leaf in our front yard. This was the extent of our storm. So sometimes it's never what it is. It's a reality of it. But unfortunately, this feels real, and I know they're bracing themselves. Just taking me back, even little things. My friends were, where are we parking cars? Everyone's going to the 6th level of this, the 6th level of that, how to handle floods, things you can't even imagine. Just taking the cabinet faces off if they're expensive, crazy things like that, and bracing for it. So my heart goes out in prayers to that area, and obviously it's very personal with our relationships.